Hey, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of The Way I See It. Today I want to go ahead and talk to you about the Japan Rail Pass. These are, every time you would go to Japan, if you wanted to, you know, be able to travel around Japan and, use their transportation, their buses, some boats, and their regular trains, like their subway trains, but not, also their Shinkansen and bullet trains, which is really great. You get around, Japan very quickly. You have to get one of these passes. They come in increments of one, two, and three different, I guess like limited editions. This is like how it looks from the front. This is how it looks in the back. I might make a bigger picture later on. But as these are the first ones, when I started going between 2009, 2010, 12, they were using the holographic ones. But later on, I guess they kind of like had to figure out like a cheaper way of doing it, and they kind of put out this one, this little paper. And this is how it is. You have the map of Japan in the front, in the back of it, but in the back would have a picture of your stamp of your date of how long you actually had to use the pin. So at the expiration date was big. So when you're traveling and you have in your suitcase and you're about to hit through the subway station, you would just show the back of this like that, and they would let you go. Um, it was almost like that they just knew they just let you go, just show and go, I between 2009 to 2009, 2019, I've been to Japan over 9 times. I don't know why I only see seven here, but I feel like I had more. I don't know what happened to the other one. I'm gonna try to see if I can find it. I feel like every single time I went to Japan, I had at least one of these. So it's just like weird. I only have seven. Like where are the other two? But that's what the detective work is probably set up for. Um, Moving forward is that what I want to talk about this stuff is about I've just been really interested in traveling, and I think Japan made it very easy to visit the country. The country, was has its ups and downs, but technology and video games was so awesome. You know, the second time the third time I actually went out there, you would have these things like this. You can probably, if you take some time, you can see you can find me out, find me there. These people right now were just people, random people. There was is this, the teachers, the students were one here and one here. They kind of like stopped us on the street while we were in Shibuya. I was like, hey, we want some foreigners to just have conversations, because they were trying to kind of like, usually the businesses they try to perform is like communication, which is still a big deal in Japan, the communication. And and you would just, I would say sure to everything, sure, and I would do it. And the other black guy behind me was one of my friends. He 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 traveled around Japan, and it seemed to me that he was you know he felt a little uncomfortable about it because he didn't speak any Japanese, so I was speaking a lot of Japanese most of the time, and you know going to Japan as a foreigner and going to these things, we would go to these places and you just talk to people. And I realized that, you know, I hear this, I'm struggling, thinking my problems I'm struggling with. These people are struggling with like a whole nother language. And like they realize that like being able to speak English would open doors for them in their society. And it makes me wonder, like, after like failing to get the Japanese exam, I might make another video about this about later on about not the Japanese exam, but trying to become an English teacher, so I can go to Japan. When I finished college, I had a hard time for some reason. Just I would always be able to get the actual like application approval and get the phone screen approval, but then when I would go to the actual like interview, the face to face, that's when all the problems like showed up. So it was just like, you know, you try not to think too deep with it. At least I didn't, and I just continued to try. And I realized eventually I was able to make enough money at home to just to go on my own, and I didn't need to actually be locked into a job to work like that. I was able to go ahead and have my job in America, fund my job, my plan over there, and knowing 3, 4, 5 weeks was okay. And I just think that that's something that we need to start thinking about when you're thinking about a problem, solving it. So you could do cool stuff like this is another picture I have where you could see like me in the middle. We were actually out and what do you call it again? We were out in this water near the Nagoya with just these three guys here own a boat, and they use their boat for wakeboarding. And these are my friends on this side, over here. And what the idea about it was that, it. I think that like the people living in a homogeneous society like that, like anybody who's not necessarily like from like people who's not from people from America is really great, especially black people who are from America. They probably think that it's like, oh my god, like they can hear the accent they say. They want to ask questions, So I realized that, just right off the bat, that going to Japan was going to be something that I wanted to do as a vacation or as like a business thing, like maybe even starting like some English teaching company or something like that, or maybe even helping people come to America and visit and go through things, but never really about the magic in going to Japan. Would have basically vanished in my opinion if I would have just went ahead and would have moved to Japan and have to work in Japan and live in Japan and raise a family in Japan. I really want to have. I wanted to be able to keep that magic alive. So that's kind of like basically what it is. This is already like over 6-7 minute video, so I didn't want to really go that far. But I'm going to make a video. I'm going to make a chapter about going to Japan, the steps I've took. I'm going to try to add some pictures and videos, and hopefully it would encourage you to still go to Japan. So when this pandemic is over, you can all go ahead and find out more about what's going to happen post pandemic. So take care.